Hey, my name is Jake Danks, and I'll be talking to you all about what industries are being impacted by virtual work and learning. We'll cover education, retail, and healthcare. So, the first one up is education. The whole system's being rebuilt into the new age, which is technology. This contains going from a physical classroom to a virtual classroom, which mainly jumped in 2020 when we all had COVID, which does raise a lot of concerns from parents and other peers as well. Because while it does allow you to be more flexible, it's the question, are you actually still learning the way you would if you're in person? Or are you actually even doing the homework to begin with? So a notable implementation of technology in the education system is definitely virtual reality. This allows students to learn hands-on, which is really cool. Let's say you're learning about dinosaurs, and today you're talking about a T-Rex. All you have to do is put on that headset and a T-Rex is right in front of you, which is really cool. Also, AI does have a lot of problems, as everybody knows, with cheating, but it is very helpful when used correctly. And then lastly, real quick, virtual learning also does offer an expanded variety of new and updated content. Instead of just learning from that same textbook and whatever your teacher says is what is right, now you have the whole internet to figure out what is right and what is wrong. And then now we'll talk about healthcare. So with the implementation of virtual work and learning, healthcare specialists are now able to take patients over the phone or a Zoom call. This just allows for minor sicknesses to be treated more efficiently, and then you don't have 30 people just in the waiting room wanting to be treated, and you also run the risk of catching whatever that person next to you has. And then a very notable implementation of technology in healthcare is definitely going to be virtual reality as well. This is talking about surgeries and real life scenarios that you will encounter as a surgeon. So let's say somebody comes in with a gunshot. Well, now you have done this before in virtual reality where it looks like it was you. So that makes it pretty cool because you actually have that experience and you're not getting the nerves for your first time. And then lastly, we'll just talk about how retail is being reshaped. This is definitely the biggest impact on an industry with the rise of e-commerce. Shout out to Amazon. So this just allows customers to find exactly what they want and need within a matter of a couple clicks. And it's also in your house in 2 days. You don't have to go through that whole hassle of going to the store and finding out all the perfect things that you need. Then lastly, we'll just talk about how augmented reality has entered retail. This allows you to take a picture of your living room. If you're looking for a couch, let's say, take a picture of your living room, and then all you have to do is just hit OK. The couch appears there, and then you can see if you like it or not, instead of having to go to the store, look at the picture of your living room every 10 minutes to see if something actually works out there. So overall, the impact on these industries have been huge, and I would say for the most part, it's a good thing, with a few minor inconveniences for the education system, but definitely on the right track as a society.
Hello, my name is Macy Lieberman, and today I'm going to break down some of the main technologies that are being used for virtual work and learning, as well as a few major platforms you've probably heard of, and how people are actually being trained to use them. Whether you're in school, working a remote job, or doing both, these tools have become a huge part of how we stay connected and get things done. Let's start with the basics for what kind of technology is actually being used for. For video conferencing, you've got tools like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet. These are the platforms many use to attend classes, hop on work meetings, or just check in with a group. Then there are learning platforms like Canvas, Google Classroom, and Blackboard. These let teachers post assignments, students submit homework, and everything stays organized in one place. For storing and sharing files, there's cloud storage like Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. These make it super easy to access documents from any device and keep your work backed up. When it comes to everyday communications, people use apps like Slack, Teams, and email to message, share updates, and ask questions quickly without having to jump on a call. And if you're juggling multiple tasks or working on group projects, project management tools like Trello, Asana, and Monday.com are really helpful for staying on track with deadlines. And last, there's collaboration tools like Google Docs and Office Microsoft Office 365, which lets multiple people edit the same document at the same time, which is a lifesaver for group and team reports. Now, as far as the major players go, each tool kind of has its own specialty. Zoom is perfect for video calls because it's simple and it also works well even when the internet isn't okay. Microsoft Teams is great for both video and chat, and it works especially well in business or school settings. Google Classroom is more focused on kindergarten through high school and helps teachers organize classwork and give feedback. Canvas is another big learning platform, mostly used in colleges, where you can check your syllabus, turn in assignments, and even take quizzes. Slack is a messaging app that lets you set up different channels so your conversations stay organized. Google Drive is a go-to for saving and sharing files, especially for group projects. And Trello is awesome if you like visual to-do lists, as it uses boards and cards to keep everything neat and easy to follow. But of course, knowing what these tools are isn't the same as knowing how to use them. That's where training and development comes in. A lot of schools and companies are offering tech training to teach people how to use tools like Zoom or Canvas, especially if they've never used them before. They're also focusing on communication skills like how to ask questions clearly in the chat, write a proper email, or speak up in a video call. Time management is another big one because when you're learning or working from home, it's really easy to get distracted. So people are learning how to stay focused and motivated without someone looking over their shoulder. There's also cybersecurity training where people are taught how to recognize things like sketchy links and how to keep their personal information safe. And lastly, most places offer ongoing support like virtual help desk, refresher courses, and tutorials, so if something changes or a new tool gets added, people can keep up without feeling lost. So yeah, technology has really changed how we work and learn, and even though it can be a lot to figure out at first, the tools and training are definitely making it easier to stay connected, stay organized, and get things done, no matter where you are. Thank you for listening.
Okay. So today I'm going to talk about virtual learning, virtual work and learning, and my name is Madison Mulkey. So the policy adaptation, when it comes to stakeholders in the IT department and when you're working with HR team and legal advisors and the education leaderships, there's difference between organizations and the education intuitions increasing by adopting the policies when you support virtual work and learning in response to technology and like social demands. So some of the policy addresses, like there's data policies and like privacy with cybersecurity and communications. The protocols that has access to technologies. So like for example, there'd be like a VPN or like a file sharing, which would be called virtual teams, to ensure the policy and the collaboration's working. And usually that would be like remote 3 days a week. When it comes to like the infrastructure, the key component includes high-speed internet, cloud computing platforms, covering tools like Zoom, Teams, Slack, Google Meet, secure the data storage systems. Hardware needs include laptops, relatable digital infrastructure, sets fertile work and learning environments. So like a webcam, headsets, other practical devices for virtual team and productive. IT support teams play a critical role in maintaining uptime and troubleshooting issues, ensuring smooth platforms all the time. So when I come about it, like a lot of people struggle when it comes to IT because like during COVID, like it was really struggling that because a lot of us had online school and that was like a big thing with us is like Zoom and Google Meets. We struggled with that because a lot of us didn't learn when it became Zoom and Google Meets. We were also hands-on and that's where a lot of us struggled with because none of us was used to being productive when it came to that and being remote and learning the demand of how to get used to being that, and it came to troubleshooting to where IT became a huge role of learning. Like their role became bigger than just the teacher. IT was huge when it became COVID, and I think IT is huge now. We use it. HR is big because HR works with IT to become big too.